Let's go, Cowboys Nation. Y'all know what the business is, man. Give it a like, give it a share. Celebratory drinks are on deck tonight. Y'all know what it is. Cowboys haven't wanted this thing. Hey, we got Robert Roberts in the building. Blood pressure check. Had to take a pill. I might have to take a pill, Robert. I might have to. You know what I mean? It is what it is. We got Dylan in the building. What up, Cody? We got Spoonie in the building. Oh, my goodness. Hey, guys. By hook or by crook, We are 5-1 headed into the bye. 5-1 headed into the bye, guys. Low key, Dylan, you gave me the pitch check before,
Oh,
here
man,
with
I'm sweating. For everybody watching, there's my sweaty pits.
yeah, yeah. Spoon, you were had to apologize to the neighbors.
Yes, I have to.
Forth. Guys, you know what? Here, one or two sentences here. One or two sentences. This game. Afterwards, here we are. What do you think? Spoon, I'll start with you, man. Just one or two sentences.
Emotion. Very emotional game. I tell you this, a very emotional game.
Okay. Young Dylan. One or two
Dak,
sentences.
how,
What you got?
how about Dak for MVP and cold blooded? I'll leave it at that.
Cold
Cold blooded.
blooded.
I
Hold
love
on, man.
that.
Let me hold
Cold
on.
blooded.
Let me grab my. I've retired to smoking on the show. However, tonight
Yeah.
I'm going to have a celebratory little smoke here. I got a little drink on the side, My guy, yeah, and I actually tweeted this out. Yeah, the cardiac Cowboys are back in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely, little cardiac. Little cardiac. My guy Rich is in the building. What's going on, man? Give it a like, give it a share. We're going to build it up here. We're going to talk about this Cowboys thrilling overtime victory 35-29 up there in Foxborough. Our first time that we went up there in a shit ton of years. I'm sorry, excuse me. It's been a while. You know what I mean? Oh my God, Brian's man. Come on, Brian Beer Gang. You know what it is. You know what it is. I don't says we're 6-1. We beat okay, I like that. I like that. We beat the past. Well, we'll talk about these refs a little bit. I know I saw the tweet from Zeke, guys. Saw the tweet from Zeke. Zeke definitely not happy about how this game was officiated. And I mean, obviously, if you tune into me and Dylan do a lot of Twitter Spaces, I hopped on his, and he does one every single halftime of Cowboys games. And I hopped in there. Woo! Ooh, these refs in the first half. They kind of cooled out in the second half some. Boy, the first half, though, they were insane. But let's put that to the side. Now, this team could have dropped 50.
Yeah.
Easily could have been a 50 burger. Now we'll talk about how these Patriots ended up at 29 a little bit too. But I will say this first and foremost, and a little story over here in Deep East Texas where I'm at. So there's a lot of Cowboys fans, and there's some non-Cowboys fans, but they're not really fans of other teams. They're just kind of haters. So at the particular Buffalo Wild Wings that I frequent here, there was two people in the building. Somewhere you couldn't really see them, but every time they did something, you hear woo, yays, and then by the end of the game they were out of there. But there's always like 1, 2 to 3 or 4. It's always funny how that works. Just haters, not really fans of anybody. They're just haters in general. But with that being said, this game, man, right? 14. What we were on 14-10 at the half. Where do you want to dive in and start on this post game? What do y'all want to talk about first? Dylan, where do you want to dive in here?
I think we should talk about how sloppy it was. Like, just all around game. Dak had a throw go behind Cedric just a little bit, just enough for it to be intercepted. Cedric had a touchdown that got pulled away from him going to the ground. We had a whole bunch of penalties. We had a touchdown taken away from us again.
Some of those penalties, though, were they penalties?
Yeah, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
very, very tic-tacky for some of them. But Connor Williams had a rough game, and
fair.
Overall, we had a very sloppy game, but I like to end on a high note. And we had a sloppy game. We had 7 points taken away from us, and we still scored 35. So at our worst, we're putting up points.
Man, my guy Bob Sex in the building says, why wasn't the 3rd and goal not reviewed? Dak was in. Yeah, you know what? I was tweeting that. We were pounding the table about that as the game was happening. I wish we had an answer. And of course, we'll probably hear sometime during this week the NFL come up like, hey, our bad. We should have reviewed that. We missed it. Blah, blah, blah. But yeah, Dak was in. I mean, it was clear cut. That's 2 now. The one against Philly, super clear. Even though they even reviewed the one in Philly, I don't know how they didn't call that one a touchdown, right? But then on the same token, this one today, I mean, there's a clear-cut picture where half of his, the top half of his body's in the end zone with the ball. I don't know how that wasn't called that. And of course, they didn't review it. For me, that was the most egregious thing is they didn't review it. But they made sure to review the touchdown on 4th down where the ball maybe bobbled a little bit and did some things. I thought the refs left when Brady left, but apparently they didn't. Spoonie, I see you down there with the white styrofoam. Go ahead, man. What do you want? Where do you want to start on breaking down this post game? Cowboys 35, Patriots 29 in overtime.
Before I say what I'm going to say, my last sip real quick.
Fair enough. It's just tea, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, it's just tea.
For now. Cowboy Nation, brothers and sisters, I'm saying it right now. Right now, we are Super Bowl contenders. Whoa. I'm saying it. I don't care about the backlash. I don't care if you tweet me I'm wrong. I am calling him. I am convinced. Do you know what type of game to play like that? When even Zeke, a professional football player, to come after the game and say that we beat the refs and the Patriots, and we all know what we saw today. We all saw it.
Yeah.
DJ just spoke about Dak Prescott, third down touchdown that was not reviewed, but he fumbled the football. Why would the third not review? It was things like that we scratch our heads, but like, wait a minute, what the hell is going on?
Right.
We are watching as fans. The players are going through it on the field. So here's another thing. Those penalties were 1st and 20 on the first downs. Penalty, you lose 10 yards. That's pretty much gets you out of rhythm. That backs you up. It changes your whole drive, in case you don't get a first down. It can mess you up mentally. The coaching staff had these guys right here, locked in. Just go through it. We're going to be fine. That Prescott showed poise. Not even phased. Not even phased. He took the shots down the field. Normally, we would say, in the past, no, we're going to play safe. No. We saw mojo. We saw spunk. We saw that fucking attitude that for fucking years that we have tried and wanted. And I'm saying it right now. Right now. I don't care if you don't agree with me, X, Y, and Z. We are Super Bowl contenders. That game right there was not easy. It was not easy. It was not. Especially when you're playing against the black and white shirts and your opponent. They stood there, they played through it, and at the end, off to the bye week. And all I'm saying is right now, if we could win games like that, those are the type of games you win in January to get to the promised land. And I'm saying it right now, we are contenders. Bill Belichick is a mastermind. We all know he can make anybody look like crap, that's crap, look like gold. Everybody knows that. It's not easy. We have not won in New England since 96, our last Super Bowl run.
Right. Jay Tuck's in the building. Jay Tuck, man, Cowboys fans only. You got the invite, man. Go ahead and jump on if you want to, brother. I've already, it's in our inbox, so go ahead if you want to jump on there. Real quick, as I got to go across the bottom, and our guy, Pitney, just talked about hope Dak is okay. No. It is what it is. You're emotional, Spoon. It's fine. About the calf strain, that's kind of what we were talking about right before we came on here. Matt O as well was talking about it in the back on the back door. He's handling some business tonight. He can't be on. So a little bit again. We have the calf strain from Dak. We have the ankle injury from Tyron Smith, who got taped up, came back in. Boy, the bye week cannot come at a better time currently. For this team. Now we'll have to wait and see, right? Depending on the level. Dylan, you said, or Spoon, one of y'all, I'm sorry, which one? Grade 1, 7 to 10 days is kind of where it's at. Right. Obviously, Gallup had a little bit harsher one, and he'll be here back after the bye. So let's kind of wait and see. But yeah, little bit of a Dak injury, little calf strain. And we'll have to wait and see and get some updates and see what's going on from there, right? But for the most part, we're good to go. We came out of it unscathed, if you will, considering that we got taped up on Tyron Smith. He came back in, Dak finished the game, and we'll kind of go from there and kind of figure some things out on that when we get the reports and what's happening. But with that being said,
BJ, healed from the post-traumatic Garrett syndrome.
Are you completely done
I'm completely
from the
healed. I want you to
post-traumatic
know that.
Garrett syndrome?
BJ Nix told everybody the antidote. I took it. I'm off of it. I don't believe in the that's past. That's beyond. That's in the past.
Yeah.
I
So
moved
let's
on.
kind of get to the first half of the game, because there's going to be the stickler point and probably the hot button that you're going to hear tomorrow moving forward and everything. So the fourth and shorts, guys, right? So first drive, right? 4th and 1, they go for it, they don't get it. Patriots punch us in the mouth. Then the following drive, we do go for it, right? We come back and we get it. We come back and score. Then there's one more that I think is going to get lost in the wash. Maybe we'll see. There was an opportunity for them to go out on 4th down and short, and it was maybe a long one, maybe a 2. They settled for the field goal, which turned out to be the field goal that Greg Zuerlein missed.
Right.
For me, I was like, no, just go for it, and they didn't, and then you missed a field goal. For me and this team, I'm consistently saying if it's 4th and less than 2 yards, we should. I don't care where we're at. Go for it. That's where I am now. A lot of people say, "Oh, see, that's why you don't go for it." Yeah, but but the same people, when we got it, didn't have nothing to say. Oh, great call or whatever. They don't say nothing. It's only whenever we don't get it, it becomes a problem. So I'll let y'all put y'all stake in the ground. Are you a fan of it, no matter where we are on the 4th and less than 2, or maybe a short 2, if you will? Are you a fan of them going for it, or do you want them not to go for it? Dylan, I'll start with you.
Yeah, go for it. 4th and 1. You have Dak Prescott at quarterback. You have a dominant offensive line, good running game. I can't grade the result. They didn't get that first one. But in those situations, why aren't you doing QB sneaks? It's like the most unstoppable play in football. Yeah, I think you should definitely be using QB sneaks more often. But yeah, I'm definitely with y'all. You should definitely be going for it on 4th and 1. And I'm mad that they didn't go for it when they missed that field goal.
Same. Spony, are you a fan or are you not a fan?
I'm a fan. I'm a huge fan of it because it definitely it definitely tells you how much the coaching staff trusts the players. It's gonna raise their momentum. It's gonna make them even believe in themselves. To sometimes when when it's that down that you need, you're gonna convert it. So I liked it. As far as the second one, the reason why I wasn't mad at it that they went for the field goal was because I think McCarthy got the hint of the refs. That's my take. I just think it was because there was a lot of times when you saw his face with the penalties, you saw the camera right in his face, and he's like shaking his head. Are you serious? So I think because of the timing, he basically wanted to play it safe at that point because of how the ref was throughout the whole game.
Right. Greg with the question says, "What do they do about Terrence Steele, Leo Collins scenario?" To me, I think it's Leo. Like after the bye week, Leo Collins is healthy. He's missed it or not healthy. He served his suspension. He's back. I think he's the starter after the bye week. What do you think, guys? Is there any controversy there, or?
Terrence Steele has been playing very well this season, but Lyle Collins is a Pro Bowl caliber guy, and I think you put him out there. We saw what he did in 2019 when he was shutting down everybody. Yeah. To have him out there would be an upgrade.
All right, Spoonie, you Collins guy, or do you want to let Steele cook?
Listen, I'm a Collins guy all the way, but because I'm with Dylan, the way Steele's been playing, I mean, I know it's a stretch, but it's a guy number 52. He is for some reason number 52 is an issue on that old line. I know it's a stretch to put it's a stretch.
I will say one of his holding calls was a bust.
Thinking.
Yeah, I mean, one of his holding calls was a bust, though.
Yeah, listen, there was some, but kind of throughout the whole. If you just count from the start of the season, he's between him and Tyler Biadasz. If they can say, listen, let's try Collins at guard, I'm all for that. I'm not saying it's going to happen. You got to give Collins his job back. But if they want to revisit that and experiment that during the bye week, I hope they at least have the conversation. Keep it open.
Isn't it a wild turn of events that Terrence Steele is now considered better than Connor Williams?
I don't know if y'all can I get there good enough for y'all to see it? Let me. Oh crap!
You clicked it, went over.
Hold on. Let me try it one more time. Let me see if I can get that in there.
Dak Prescott talked.
Well, I was trying to get the play. Anyways, Dak's in a boot, ladies and gentlemen. But Dak tells reporters that the boot is precautionary on the right calf strain. Looks like it happened here on this throw. This is whenever he was rolling out to his right, and then he threw off the right foot and kind of fading back a little bit. So he is in a boot, right? But Dak says it's precautionary as to why he is in the boot. So again, bye week could not come at a better time with what happened to Leo. Leo Collins. We were just talking about him. Uh, Tyron Smith, and of course Dak. What's going on? Our guy Rome's in the building. What's going on, Rome? Cowboys fan talk as always. Appreciate you, brother. And we're feeling great. We're feeling great at 5-1 heading to the bye. So that's where we're at currently, my guy. We are feeling fantastic. How about you? First half, right? The fourth downs here, whatever, defense a little loosey goosey with everything and the refs and stuff that was happening. I mean, how many first and 15s and 20s and all the different things that were happening. The interception even in the end zone, so on and so forth. A little late to said Wilson, but still, I mean, you're down. It's 14-10, and you just come out and grind that game out and do what you do. Just a different feel for this team. This would easily for me be, as you were talking about earlier there, Spoon, the Garrett syndrome. Like, this is a game that you would lose, right? But
yeah,
they kept clawing, they kept doing it. You saw the defense towards the end of the first half starting to put the clamps on, and then you got to the second half. Now I get it; they give up a couple of things, but boy, you just felt them a little pissed off and doing things. Randy Gregory damn near snatched Mac Jones' soul not once but twice. My
we had
goodness,
Goldberg out there.
right?
when he hit that spear,
I was like, dear God. And you got the block punt, you got the sack fumble. Yeah. Obviously, you got the pick six as well in the second half from Diggs, who ties Rod Woodson.
Rod Woodson, yes.
Rod Woodson, the Hall of Famer Rod Woodson of the Steelers, and then later in his career for the Ravens for how many picks within the first 6 games. Man, just amazing stuff. Just amazing stuff that happened on that side as well, too, right? As my guy, yeah. It was his welcome to the NFL moment, not once but twice. That part, that part for sure. So yeah, to me, this win feels. All wins feel good. This win feels different. This win feels better. This win is like. This is a win in years past that a game that we would have lost. Heading into the bye here, the coach. Now I will say, Mike McCarthy's my guy. Now here, Dylan, here's some. Now we're going to talk here a little bit now because me and Dylan been going back and forth a little bit on Twitter. If y'all rock with us on Twitter Spaces, we might get a little bit more looser over there. We might run one tonight because I ain't got nothing to do anyways. But with that being said, I'm a big Mike McCarthy guy. And Dylan is kind of chimed some different things, and of course Mass and some other people. So first half, I'm not really for sure gaff on McCarthy's part because they had to stamp it on third down and take a knee. Then you could have blown the timeout and make them punt and maybe take an opportunity to go try to block the punt. They blow the timeout with 2 seconds left on the play clock, which means at that point, they can just take another knee and get up out of the first half. Okay, head scratcher. The field goal to tie the game, I'm going to give him some space on that. Here's why. Is there was 2 penalties called on your guy, when you were just talking about in Connor Williams, right?
Right.
The hold and the unsportsmanlike. The refs didn't really do a clear job because even on CBS at the time, it said 2nd and 25. That's what it said.
Right.
So they get a 24-yard gain. They burned the timeout at 24 seconds, but it was 4th down. So what happened to 3rd down? That's because you couldn't take both penalties. You had to pick one or the other.
Exactly.
They ended up picking the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, which actually burns the down, but I don't think it was conveyed properly. Now, Mike McCarthy makes a lot more money than I do, or Dylan, or Spoondy, or anybody here that I believe. If y'all make more money than Mike McCarthy, then salute to you for sure.
100%.
You're paid to know that, or Kellen Moore, or anybody on the coaching staff. But they blew the timeout thinking that it was 2nd down, and they had a 3rd and 1 here, so they wanted to save the timeout, get the first down, and do it. We were even arguing that at the bar, and then it was like, oh, it's 4th down. Like, oh, and then it clicked for me. I was like, oh, they took the other penalty. It burned the timeout. Crap. I'm not getting paid money to know that, though. Okay, so a little bit of a gaffe on that side, too, there towards the end of the regulation. Made the field goal, got off the field, and then you got to overtime. Mike McCarthy's time management again, guys. Uh, Spoonie.
Oh, you talking about the CeeDee Lamb one?
Well,
After the
you had
catch?
right. So you had the
Right.
first half where they had to snap the ball and take a knee on third down, and make it fourth down with time left. You could have blown the timeout, then force him to punt, but then he doesn't, so they get to take another knee, or he takes the timeout on third down, so they can take the knee and get out the game down to punt, and then the second half, the CeeDee Lamb catch should have been second down. That's what they were kind of talking about, but it was actually third down because Connor had two penalties,
Right.
right? And they took that sportsmanlike joint, which they never showed what he did in sportsmanlike, anyways. But hey, it is what it is. The refs were calling whatever. They were in their bag tonight, is what they were doing. So Mike McCarthy's time management at the end of both halves, suspect at best.
Yep, just put it lightly.
I mean,
Nah,
I'm sorry, Dwayne. I'm sorry.
you go ahead, Spoon. It's your show, man.
No. What I was gonna say was, it goes into question the same, kind of similar to what we went through with the Monday night with the Eagles. The second one, when CeeDee Lamb scored, got the first, not the first down. Well, it seemed like I believe that McCarthy, and again, he makes all the money. Don't believe he should just ask or whatever. But when they got the field goal, basically, I thought that he thought it was a first down, and it was a fourth down. Even Romo came out and said, he goes, "Wait a minute, why would you call a timeout? You should have just let the clock rolling, waste some clock time, and then do the field goal." So I thought it was a bit of confusion, with the refs as well, and McCarthy. So it was a little bit confusing, but again, those are the things when come January, you don't want it to happen.
Right.
To get to that
Right.
step. You got to be
So-
kind of crisp with these times.
Yeah,
You
I
think
mean
they're
the
getting
second.
them out of the way now?
Yeah, I mean, hope. I mean, second half, like I said, the one at the end of the regulation doesn't bother me as much because everybody's a little confused. I don't think the refs did a very good job. The one in the first half though, huge gaff,
Right.
huge gaff,
Agreed.
I mean, just unreprehensible. Like you can't do that. So Dylan, here I'll take it. I'm a big boy. Go ahead.
I don't know. I think Kellen Moore would have called that timeout, but that's neither here nor there.
He could have said something. Oh, here we go.
But nah, I don't. I'm not gonna harp on him for the gaff. I wasn't even aware, so I can't harp on him. Like I didn't know the situation with the downs or whatever is when it was happening. I was just as confused as they were. But it did bother me that they did have the 4th and 1, and you are settling for that long field goal. I'm mad at the decision, not more so than the timeout itself.
And then too, shout out to Professor O, co-host of the Star Game podcast every Wednesday. Y'all catch us live here 8 p.m. Central. And he shared this in the first half. The Cowboys Patriots game. This is from Rick Goslin. The Cowboys Patriots game today draws the Brad Allen officiating crew. Home teams are 3-1 with Allen this season, and the Cowboys are 1-4 all time with him working their games. Conversely, the Patriots are 6-1 with Allen, but Tom Brady posted the 6 wins and Cam Newton the 1 loss. Hey, I thought Tom Brady was lined up at quarterback today the way they were calling this game in the first half, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I said it off the top. I said I thought the refs left when Brady left, but apparently not. The check cleared, especially there in the first half, if you will, for Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft and the Patriots. Again, we going back to man, I'm 43 years old. I've watched a ton of football in my life. I really have. Some people say, Nick, you're kind of sick at how much football you watch, but it is what it is. I've not missed a Cowboys game in over 20 plus years. On top of, I go to the sports bar at 11:30 to watch games, and then I go and go back and watch video and stuff and break down ever before we started doing shows into our 3rd season here. I used to build big boards every year because I have fun with it for the draft and everything else. I don't know if I've seen a worse ref game than I did in the first half. I'm just being completely honest. I would have to go back. I have like notebooks and have to go look at notes and different things. This was man, there was some horrible things. Now, the one thing that I will give this refereeing crew credit for, not much, was the horse collar call, which was suspect at best on Parsons. They actually gave that one back to us though, and they kept it even kill whenever it happened to Pollard on the other side. Now Parsons never actually grabbed him and pulled him back at anything. He just grabbed him. He spun around on his own and fell down. It was very light. They threw the flag. The other was more egregious, even though it was late. They still threw the flag, so at least there was that. So yeah, I mean, again, even Zeke. Once again, we talked about this earlier. Zeke even came out and talked about, man, he's never been a part of the game that was refereed so terribly. I'm not a big blame the ref guy. This game was close because of the refs. Yeah. I'm sorry. It just is what it is. This team could have scored 50. Dak on 3rd and goal actually got in. I don't know how they goofed and missed and didn't review it. I wish there was an answer. I've seen a lot of people in the comment section asking us why it wasn't reviewed. It should have been reviewed. The touchdown depends on the refereeing crew. That could have been a touchdown from Dak, or it could have been a fumble. I can't really be mad at that either way. The said Wilson in the end zone, he had it, and then he didn't have it. He's got to secure that catch. He ended up with a field goal. The touchdown pass that could have been for said Wilson from Dak was off. They picked it off. It happened. So, it's just one of those things. And, of course, the Cowboys are trying to get over the hump a little bit, right? It's been a long time since we beat them. It's been even a longer time since we beat them there. And Bill Belichick is 103 or 100 – no, I think it's 109-3 when winning at the half. And I tweeted, I was like, well, let's make it 104 because of 4. And then there was that. And there it was at the very end of the game, Dak hitting Lamb for the touchdown, curtain call. It's a wrap, guys.
Yeah. That whole game, I felt like I haven't watched a game like that since we beat the Eagles in overtime in 2018, I believe.
Amari's first year here, right?
Ooh,
yeah.
Where Amari was that Jalen Mills too? Was that Jalen Mills?
I tweeted out something like that, like the Jalen Mills getting cooked on a game-winning drive against the Cowboys. Let's keep it going.
Fitting. Very fitting.
Appreciate you, Shane.
Yeah, I mean, Spoonie, I'll tell you this. You know what? And as I was at the bar and we were talking, and I was going through the game, and I was tweeting and doing different things. And here's the difference again between this coaching staff and prior coaching staffs. I'll be honest with you guys. My blood pressure was high or whatever. I didn't like the things that were happening. I never thought that this game was in doubt, though. Like I'm being completely honest. Even if we would have lost this game, I would have came on here and said the same damn thing. I never felt like this game was in doubt. Like I ultimately during everything that happened in the third, the fourth, even after Diggs got the pick 6 and they hit the big play right back, I'm like, okay. I mean, it's just one of those games. It is what it is. But we were going to ultimately win the game. They got the ball first in the second half, right? And are in overtime. I'm like, okay, well, this defense is going to get the stop. It's going to happen. It's fine. Like I never, ever, ever, ever thought this game was going to be a game that we lose.
Right.
Man, it's a huge difference.
How about Trayvon Diggs, though? Is he not the best quarterback in the league or what?
Well, it depends who you ask these days. It's hard pressed to figure it out. I actually tweeted that Diggs was about to get a pick. I was just a smidge. I was 2 drives early. Drives early. But, man, the confidence to understand it's coming. And it should have been the closer. It should have been. Because on the play on the 75-yard touchdown, that's not on Diggs. There's going to be a lot of people would say that's on Diggs. It's not. He's playing the right coverage. The safety has to make the play.
Yeah,
that's where the coverage is pushed to. Right. And KZ, realistically, KZ should have picked that off. He stared down the receiver. It was easy peasy. And KZ whiffed, Spoon.
Right. Listen, it happens. Diggs was very upset. What I love about how Diggs responded, he was very upset on the sideline. And when you see that, this is where you go to your other brother, but listen, it was a blown assignment. We got to do better than that. And Diggs understands what he's doing in the league today, and he's making his business to keep making this noise. We go back into that to the draft where CeeDee Lamb was. The football gods has blessed us to have him just land in our spot at number 17, right? And then all of a sudden, I remember BJ, myself, Professor O, even Jay Tuck when he joined us during the mock draft. When we talked about the draft time, he kept on saying, listen, Miss Mary too, that Diggs can be a first round pick. And a lot of folks was, I don't know about the X, Y, and Z. And we got him in the second round. And when you look back and you see how, and again, I always tell people your initial thought sometimes can be bad about a player. But when you see the evaluation and how these players get better and better and better, I mean, damn.
Yeah.
We get lucky.
Yeah, and Steven, I mean, Diggs said it's his fault he gave up on the play or whatever.
He's
That's him
protecting
protecting
his teammate.
He's protecting his teammate.
Yeah.
If you go back and look at the tape, he never took off, he never slowed down, he never did anything. He cut underneath, he did everything right. He's protecting his teammate.
Yeah.
So
Diggs underplayed it because he had the safety over time.
Right. He looked back at it like, Casey, where you at?
And Greg bring it up. CD's one hell of a player, 88 club. Man, hey, ladies and gentlemen, hey, look. We do need to talk about Lamb a little bit here. Okay? Not that we didn't know he was coming, right? Not that we didn't know what he could bring to the table, and look how much he's cleared up. He had some drop issues last year. Dak wasn't here, though. He had some drop issues week 1. He's cleaned that up as well. All right. Young Dylan has 88 arrived as a true number 1 now? Is he the number? Not 1A, 1B. We've been on this 1A, 1B, 1, 2.
Has he surpassed Amari? Is what you're asking?
Do you think CeeDee Lamb now has surpassed Amari?
No, I don't think he's passed Amari. Amari was the one drawing the double teams and everything today. But he's really good, and he's going to be a very solid number 1 for years to come. But Amari is the man right now.
Spoonie, you want to take a shot at the?
No, I'm with Dylan. I'm the same way. Again, it's easy to look at numbers and look at the game, but Dylan brought up a great point, and that's the most important. That Amari Cooper was drawing the double team, so of course other guys are going to get open. And
now there was, I will say though, there was some times that Lamb got some doubles too.
Yes, it was.
But I completely agree with both of y'all. It's still to me. Until Coop's up out of here, or Coop has another 2 or 3 years.
I don't want him to leave.
No, me either. Yeah, but I'm just saying. But until he's up out of here, or another 2 or 3 years in this offense, hey man, it just makes Lamb's job much easier, much better, and it makes it hell for the defenses. And we should be thankful because there's other teams that are top tier offenses, like Kansas City, that doesn't have that same balance. Yeah, they got Kelsey and they got Tyreek, but they don't have that same balance. Like maybe you look at the Bucks with the Evans, the Godwins, and Antonio Brown. You can say that, but there's a lot of different guys that we're blessed to be in that way. Looks like Dak is going to be okay. He's in a boot. He said it is precautionary through Jane Slater. Bye week can come at a better time. We're going to keep repeating that here a little bit for sure. And then my guy Ron says Dak had the highest passer rating in NFL history. When the game was timed in the fourth quarter OT, man. We know what it is. We know what it is when it comes to Dak, and something we appreciate on this channel for a long time. Like he's that guy. Yeah. Whenever we were going up week 1 against the Bucks, and Martin was out, man. There was so many people in my inbox and talking like, "Oh, we're in trouble." I was like, "Is 4 behind center?" Man, I like my chances. As long as 4's back there, man, I like my chances. Yes, a boot. Yes. He's in a boot, precautionary boot, but he is in a boot. That is the question. That is the official answer on that tomorrow. So again, but it's the bye week, and that's fine. Give it a like, give it a share, man. We're having a good time here tonight because the Cowboys won, ladies and gentlemen, 35-29 in dramatic fashion. Number 4 to number 80 is. We're just talking about those 2 guys and Dak and Lamb for the touchdown. You know what I loved about that? Because he got smashed by, not smashed. He got a good little shove that knocked him down by Mills. And then Lamb just got up and said, waved at him. It's like, it's cool. Yeah, you shoved me down. Great, my guy. Hold that L and move on about your business. That's right. Victory Monday. Well, we had a Victory Tuesday in there against Philly. But yeah, 5 weeks in a row, Victory Day. It is what it is. Now, the one thing I do want to say there, as I want to Stone Cold Stun Kellen, not just a red zone calling, because look, it said Wilson catches the ball, you're good. If they actually give Dak the third down run that was a touchdown, you're good. The interception, okay, that's a bad look. But the other 2, you're kind of good on that.
I didn't like the handoff to Pollard though, on the 2-point conversion.
I didn't like that either. But I did have a problem with Kellen Moore's play calling today. Now I put my guy on the grill and Mike McCarthy. Now then I'm gonna put your guy, Kellen Moore, on the grill here a little bit.
I'm gonna grill him with you.
So, fair enough. So it was obvious, at least to me, it was very obvious that Bill Belichick basically said, "Hey guys, y'all are not going to run the ball in early downs. You're just not. Look, we're going to do whatever. If you want to keep running it, bet." And they took too long to stop running the ball on first down. It hurt us tremendously. It set the offense back, especially in the first half. They did a little bit better job in the second half. But again, the looks and things that were happening, they should have got off the gas on running the ball in the first down. They definitely needed to get some more play action on first down. And they ran play action in the first half. I think they ran play action a lot more in the second half on first down. Or just simply pass the ball on first down more than they did in the first half. It just wasn't working. And Kellen was a little, look, the touchdown inside the 5 that we did get, right? Spread them out, Dak and shotgun, throw it over the top of the Lamb. The ones we didn't get were bunched in, and we just couldn't get it done. So today, young Kellen learned something today, though. Is what I would say. Typically they get to their bag a little bit differently, a little bit quicker. But early on, the early down runs, and you could just look at the Patriots how they were lined up. They're like, no, you're just not going to run. They were literally daring them to throw, and I don't understand why they didn't do that so much in the first half.
Yeah, I personally am not a fan of first down runs in general. And in a game like this where they're repeatedly not working, every single time you try to hand it off, Zeke's getting stuff. And there was also short yardage situations like on the goal line or when we're trying to go for it on fourth where Zeke just wasn't getting that leverage and getting the first downs. We were setting ourselves behind the chains. So if we can pass it for 8-something yards per attempt, why do I want to run it for 2-something yards per attempt? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just pass it on first down and don't go to third down.
Yeah. I mean, and Yusuf's in the building. What's going on, Yusuf? We kind of talked about it a little bit earlier. You've been going for it on fourth and less than 2 all night. They chose to go for the field goal there, and the whiff, if you will, the whiff. As my guy man is on the building. Play action on first down. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely there. Let me run out some stats though, real quick for this game. Now, obviously, they had only scored 20 points, and that was last week against the Texans before tonight, where they did get 29 on us. But Dak, 36 of 51. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. We threw the ball over 50 times, so we won a game. So there's that narrative out there. For 445, 3 touchdowns and a pick. Zeke Elliott, 17 for 69. Pollard, 10 for 41. Dak, 3 for 10. Lamb, 1 for 2. CeeDee Lamb with a monster game, 9 for 149, 2 touchdowns. Dalton Schultz, 5 for 79. Cooper, 5 for 55. Zeke, 7 for 50, a little dual threat action. Noah Brown in the building, 2 for 47. Ced Wilson, 4 for 42. Crucial drop in the end zone, could have been a touchdown. Pollard for 3 for 22. And then Blake, 1. 1 catch, 1 yard, 1 touchdown. You can't be mad at that.
They tried to take away Schultz, so shout outs to them for pulling it off.
Right. Obviously, Diggs with the pick 6. And then, of course, Gregory with the 2 monster sacks, 1 for a fumble that we recovered and we converted into wait. Is that the one we converted into 3 points, or was that the block punt? I can't remember which one. It did get converted into some points. I have to go back and look at the point in time. The Patriots on the other side, man. We did give up 100-yard rusher, guys. It happened. Damian Harris, 18 carries for 101, 5.6 at a touchdown. Stevenson, 5 for 23 for 4.6 and a touchdown. Mac Jones, 15 for 21, 229, 2 touchdowns, and of course, the pick 6. Bourne, the 1 catch for 75 yards for a TD. Myers, 5 for 44. Stevenson, 3 for 39. Aguilar, 1 for 27. Hunter Henry, which we were worried about, only 2 for 25, although 1 be a touchdown. Hell of a push off that they didn't call on my guy Hooker, by the way. Should have been a push off. They didn't call it. The other big tight end, Jonnu Smith, 1 for 9. Harris, 1 for 7. And Brendan Bolden, 1 for 3.
I mean, Mills. Shout out to Nelson Aguilar for that drop, helping us out.
Oh yeah, shout out on the. Oh my goodness, because that safety was way off. You're not wrong. You are not wrong. But man, again, just back to, I tweeted this going into the second half was it's time for Kellen Moore, as in his words, to aggressively attack what they're giving us. And I do think he did turn that up some in the second half for sure. Um, Dak throwing the ball 51 times. It's been a lot of 25 and unders the past few weeks and whatnot. Even though with our two premier running backs, I'm gonna call them premier because they're top 10 rushing yardage running backs. But our two premier running backs ended up with 27 carries. But the balance wasn't quite there how it has been. But man, guys, how good does it feel? As I call it, the Tupac offense. How do you want it? Okay, you want to take the run out? We'll throw it. We'll air it out. What do you want to do? And unlike week one, because a lot of people say, well, we threw it too much. We can't win that way. But we did tonight, guys.
Right.
No.
I mean, here's the thing, BJ. And don't give me. It's like I believe Professor O said it a couple of weeks ago when everybody was saying, keep running the ball, keep running the ball. It's game situations, and that's what it is. Basically, we could beat you any type of way, passing or running. Whatever you're going to give us, we're going to take advantage of, and that's what it is. In today's game against the Patriots, they have a top defense. Matter of fact, they was top 5 coming into this game. And if you go in the past other games, yes, they did have they probably 100 yards rushing from Miami, the Saints, the Texans. But at the same time, for the way we play, again, like Dylan says, running our first down, it kind of hurt us, especially with getting penalized and losing another 10 yards. I like what PO says: be more creative and go with the play action. You gotta keep them off balance a little bit. But it's like I said, sometimes it shows you what type of team we are. We have no weaknesses when it comes to our offense. It's like we can say the Arizona Cardinals. They're not a good running team. They're a great passing team. Well, we're balanced. We're both. We are both. We could beat you up with the run and we could kill you with the pass. This makes this team so special. It shouldn't be about what the Cowboys should do. It should be more about, damn, we're that good on offense. How can you defend? And that's what it was. Today, the Patriots go, take away their run. Okay, well, we're going to beat you with the pass. In the second half, that is exactly what we did. The first half was sloppy. The second half, we did our best to try to clean up a little bit. Look what happened.
Yeah, and going to like the overall team stats, right? And a couple of things sticks out to me. So the Cowboys had almost 600 yards of total offense, 567.
Right.
Patriots ended up with 335, right? We had 32 first downs. They had 17. Total plays was 82 to 50, right? Penalties, they had 5 for 47. We had 12 for 115. Turnovers were even, 2 each. Now, third down conversions and time of possession. They were 3 for 9. We were 3 for 13. And then 2 for 4 on fourth downs. But time of possession, with throwing the ball as much as we did, right? We had the ball for almost 40 minutes of the game. 39 minutes and 17 seconds versus their 26 minutes and 51 seconds. So again, when we talk about, sometimes it gets lost in the sauce, and I talked about this after week one. As much as we threw the ball, we damn near had the ball a whole extra quarter against the Bucs, even though we threw the ball tremendously more in the disparity between running and passing than we did tonight. But man, we still killed it, right? In time of possession and whatnot. And the defense came with timely turnovers, where it was a sack fumble, special teams showing up with the block punt, and then of course the huge pick six as well. As my guy Brendan just said, yeah, you're right. This game should have been close. The Cowboys could have easily scored 50. If they give us the touchdown with Dak before he goes on fourth down the fumble, well, 42. I mean, there's right. You're over 40 at that point. Okay, I mean, you're over 40 at that point.
Cedric holds on to the ball.
If Cedric holds on to the ball, there's an extra 4. The interception in the end zone. Yeah, I mean, this thing right here is it's a learning moment for sure. But again, let me run that back to you. 115 yards and penalties, 12 of them, 115 with 2 turnovers, everything behind the 8 ball. It was still a sloppy play, if you want to call it. failed fourth downs, going and getting on fourth down, missed field goals, 2 turnovers in the end zone. It was still 567 yards and 35 points, which goes back to my whole point at the very beginning of the season. This is a Super Bowl offense. You want to be cleaner, but you know what? We won't play another game this year where we have this kind of issue with the refs. It won't happen. I guarantee you.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah. And again, as I said before, every Cowboy. Listen, I know tomorrow you're gonna have these network, and the so-called networks, and and say what they're gonna say. You're gonna hear things like, "Well, the Cowboys are not that good because they struggle against the Patriots." Listen, everybody watched the game. And the one thing people cannot lie about is those calls, those referee calls. That kept them in the game. Again, the Cowboys were supposed to just put them away, and they could have.
Right.
But again, every time that we move the ball the right way, here's a flag. And again, that could take you out of rhythm. And let's just be honest about it. Cowboy fans, you went to New England, a place that we haven't won since '96, the last time we won the championship. And again, this Bill Belichick, we saw what the Patriots did to the Buccaneers. I mean, they limited Tom Brady.
Right.
This is the Patriots at home. It doesn't matter who's at quarterback. It's Bill Belichick. And they do have a defense. Matt Judon was all over the place. That was very hard. That was very tough. You called that. That was key. BJ called it last Wednesday.
My key to the game.
He said,
Don't let him wreck
opposite Matt Judon. And Matt Judon he gave Terrence Steele problems. He went on Tyron Smith's side, did the same thing. So, a game like this, you should be very happy about that you won, because again, these are the type of games you win in January like this. And everybody knows the history of the Patriots and Bill Belichick. It's very hard to win there. It's very hard. I mean, you got to go tooth and nails to really, really get a W. And we did today. You want to give us all that? Don't worry about it. We're going to find a way. And they find a way. Overtime, they did it.
Yeah, and look, and you're not wrong there, Spoon, with the idea that we didn't get the ball first. We got the stop, got the ball back, and we closed it out, right? And another thing that's a sign of a good team is you win these kind of games, right? When it gets tight, and games are going to get tight in the NFL. It happens. But can you find a way to win the game, Dylan? Right. Brother, they found a way.
In 2018, or no, it was 2019, we lost all of these games, all the close games, all the one-score games. We lost all of them. And we're 2-0 in those situations now. So it's definitely a nice turnaround. And I feel better about these wins because of what they do for the team, the close wins, the grind it out, where you're biting your nails and everything. To get these kind of wins and what it does for your team, it shows a lot more character than it does in a blowout. So I love this win. It's probably our best one of the year.
To add on to what Dylan just said, CeeDee Lamb after the game went up to Dak. It was reported after the game winning on touchdown, and he tells Dak, "I love you. No, I really do love you." That understand what that does, and the point I was Dylan was saying, when it's the winning like that, not blowouts like that, it brings players together. It's a bond. It's a brotherhood, and mind you. Again, since 2016, when we had Dak Prescott, he's coming in to a veteran team that's already established. No more, he's the guy just waiting to win. He is the guy, and these guys are under him. They following him. They following their leader. And we all know Dak right now. He is just hyped about the season for what happened last year. He just want to go all the way. He's determined for that. And these guys are gonna follow him and go with him to war. Whatever they got to do. I love that Tyron Smith said, put me back in the game.
Yeah. Well, look, in a couple of weeks ago, right? Whenever was it the Eagles game where Amari Cooper, or maybe the Panthers game where the hamstring came out? He's like, man, I looked at everybody's eyes and how much they wanted it, so I had to get back out there and make the play. So yeah, I mean, I'm definitely there. Our guy TJ Todd's in the building has a question. Dylan, I'll start with you and I'll get to Spoon. It says, what do you guys think they should do with Connor Williams?
I love Spoonie's idea. I don't know if they would consider it, but Lyle Collins at guard right now is looking really good with the way Terrence Steele is playing. And if you put McGovern in the center, But I think they're going to stick it out with Williams, and you're probably going to find help through moving McGovern to center, and he's going to have a little help having another man beside him. But
okay,
I love Spoon's idea.
I have another plan.
Okay.
It just require trading.
Oh, here we go.
Not so much. No, not so much. Not so much. Not so much. Not so much. I promise. Well, there's two offers. One of my plans is trendy right now on Twitter. If you want to check me out, Spoonie881. I got a little bit of good things about, a little bit bad things. It's balanced though. I like Nick Martin out of Houston. That is Zach Martin's brother. Okay, he has played center and guard in Notre Dame and in the beginning times of the Houston Texans. Now, again, folks are looking at PFF and all that. Numbers can be misleading. One thing that me, BJ, as well as PO, Ms. Mariella, had always talked about was coaching, right? And there's a coach that we have spoke about named Joe Philbin,
right,
who has done a tremendous job with his offensive line. Again, look at Terrence Steele, right? Look at Connor McGovern, right? So again, look at this year compared to last year, right? So my thing is this: a guy like Nick Martin comes in, we can get a solid trade. It ain't gonna be nothing too like a first round, nothing like that. But maybe a third or fourth round, but he's a backup right now. I'm comfortable with Joe Philbin and his big brother right here. Hey, you're part of this Cowboys team. Let's get it done. Or Plan B. There's a team named the Atlanta Falcons who may be on some sales in a couple of weeks. The trade deadline, because they pretty much out of it. There's a certain center named Matt Hennessy, who they drafted 3 years ago. Okay, he's the backup center right now. He also could play guard. Those are the type of bargains that we need to get. Guys who are on their rookie contract, they're pretty much not starting right now, but they have potential and they're young. Connor Williams, again, and I've been with BJ for the last couple of years when he's been saying this. Why they never put him at tackle or something like that? That's Texas. He's not a guard.
I mean, here's my thing, right? And here's my thing. I want Cowboys Nation to like turn this up real loud and hear me when I say this. Leo Collins is never going to play offensive guard in this league ever again.
Yeah.
Okay. Like stop. Like we are beating a dead horse. It's not going to happen. He's transformed his body. He was really a tackle, even a left tackle at LSU. He is a tackle. Even if he ever leaves here and signs somewhere else, he's going to be a tackle. Maybe in his long tooth years, they would have put him at guard. Maybe that happens. He's not going to be a guard here. Here's what I do know, is that if you get a better center in there, though, it'll help Connor Williams. It will. You have to remember, Connor is trying to cover up. And the play where he got the holding call and the unsportsmanlike conduct, shit, he was trying to block two different guys because I don't know what Tyler Badaz was doing. Okay, so for me, it's not about Connor. It's more about getting somebody better at center. Now, to me, I think I've said this. I'll stand on this. I think that Connor McGovern's going to be your starting center post bye week, and I think that helps Connor Williams. That is the other Connor. Now, if you want to add somebody to that mix, Spoonie, I'm okay there. I don't know if they're going to go out there and do that or not. The Cowboys are when it comes to trading. Although, the word is they did call and see, what's going on with Hayden.
Joe Hayden.
Yeah, but neither here nor there. If you just get a better piece, and look, we can't have a Zach Martin at every single position. I understand that. But I think if you get Connor McGovern, who played center at Penn State, in there, he's been practicing there, and he's more solid. And obviously, we do believe he's either going to be if he takes over, he's our starting center next year. We figure out whatever's going on at guard, or he's going to replace Connor Williams the following year because he's going to leave via free agency and get that comp pick. But it's about getting a better center next to Williams. I think Williams is serviceable, and I also think Williams is going to get a bag next year to go somewhere and play. That's how I feel about it. But the Leo Collins to guard, stop. Just stop. It's not going to happen. Let's chill. Let's just get off that gas here a little bit. And you don't want him to. It's great to have Steele as the backup and let Leo come back here and do what he does. And in case, shout out to Tyler Nashetsky tonight, who had to step in for a little bit for Tyron Smith, who did an admirable job as well. But when it comes to the guard position, man, Williams is your guy. You got to get better at center. I do agree there, Spoon. Maybe they do pull a little magic. Maybe do some hoodoo voodoo. Maybe make a trade. I don't know.
Right.
But on the same token, we do have to be ready. They are 5-1 with Tyra Badaz there at center.
Right.
They might ride it out. But I think we would all agree getting a better center would take this thing a long ways.
I want to point out real quick. If we do that, I'm not saying to give up on Tyler all the way, because again, this is his 9th or 10th game overall. Since remember he didn't start last year, so this is like a 9th and 10th game overall. But at the same time, we are on a roll right now. It's like we can't have. We got to have that O line crisp, and that's the thing about it. If Conor McGovern can do the job after this bye, hey, that's what it is.
Right. We got the not KZ's fault. It was Diggs' fault. He's too slow. I mean, actually, we talked about this a little bit earlier. I'm gonna give it directly. I'm gonna give it directly to you from Bucky Brooks. Hang on, I'll give it. Let me pull up that tweet real quick. Bucky Brooks said any deep ball thrown inside the numbers should be on the free safety. Diggs played with outside leverage, made a speed turn that forced the wide receiver to stay inside. If the free safety can judge the ball, he walks into an easy pick because Jones stares down the throw. That's a high school play. So the 75-yard touchdown was not on Diggs. Not on Diggs. Okay.
Right.
And no, the Cowboys had this was 567. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I mean, neither here nor there. Somebody said call the Eagles, engage the Kelsey trade. I mean,
that never happened.
Yeah, I don't know.
That never happened. That's a rivalry team. That never happened. It's a good idea, great idea.
Yeah, but again, I don't know what that is. To me, I really think as we've heard all the noise and we're following the tea leaves about McGovern, practicing at center.
Right.
If they're going to make a swap here on the bye week, which would be the time they do, either via trade or making a move on this roster, to me, I think it's McGovern over anything there, and we'll kind of wait and see, how that goes. So yeah, man. I mean, again, to me, guys, I love beating the Eagles. Don't get me wrong, I love beating the Eagles, and I love a lot of these wins we've had so far. But I love this win for a lot of different ways, Dylan.
Yeah,
I just, we'll kind of cap it out here. We've been going for an hour. Dylan, we want to run this back on Twitter? You want to run it back on Twitter, or are we good?
Let's do it, man. We got this.
So, yeah. So here's what we're going to do, guys. We're going to get out of here on this. All right, we're going to get out of here on this right here. If you happen to be on Twitter, Spoony, Dylan, me, come follow us. We're going to do a Twitter space on the back end of this. We're going to do a Twitter space. A little bit more free flow, a little bit more, maybe some F-bombs might drop here and there, so on and so forth. It is what it is. But with that being said, to me, this win is the best win of the year for the Cowboys. It's how I feel. It's how I feel. I think this win was on the road. The team and this team had a lot to prove, and I'm talking about not us. I'm talking about the Patriots. Toughest team they played, a lot to prove. Well, I mean, after the Bucks and they were close, right? Another tough team to play, prove that we're here. A lot of calls to go their way. We've kind of ran down the numbers statistically already, so on and so forth. And the Cowboys were behind the 8 ball. They could have folded. I think that's my biggest thing. If the Cowboys wanted to fold, some people might have been like, I get it. And they didn't. And I'm pretty excited about that heading into this bye week. Guys, for y'all, boom. Yeah, there. Well, Brian, you know what? This has been my guy for years, man. Shout out to my guy. Guys, for y'all gauging this win, how do you feel? I mean, whatever space you want to talk about. Hey, man, some people don't think he's the boss. Just think he's the man there, Psycho. Your big takeaway at the end of the day about this win going into the bye week, and I'll give you that space. We want to start with you.
The biggest thing is basically, again, you beat a good team, in my opinion. You beat a good team. It was against one of the best head coaches of all time in football.
Yeah.
And the game, in our opinions, was not called fairly. We know how Zeke felt about that game, and I'm sure other people who watch could see that. It was very tough. But again, this team showed that that they can tangle with anybody. The coaching has changed. The players are different. Mike McCarthy is doing, a hell of a job. I mean, shame on anybody who put him on the hot seat after 1 year last year. You know, when things were going on with COVID, he didn't have this full team, and we can see this right now that this is a different type of team. So, you know, if anybody who again is still part of that post Gary syndrome stuff crap. Listen, that's over with. This if today didn't convince you, I don't know what will. Because again, like Dylan said earlier, this is the type of game that we would not won in the past. We would have just folded. Game is over.
Right.
This team stood to the end in battle, and they won this game. They took it. Now they're going to the bye week. And I'll say this: we had 7 starters out. 7 starters out.
Right.
That's 7. That's a lot. And it's like we didn't even miss them. So imagine when they do come back. The rotation is going to be sick.
Another level.
Yeah,
right,
it's going to be crazy.
And go Super Saiyan.
I'm sorry, one more thing, Dylan. One more thing. There was somebody asked a question about Cedric Wilson. Does he make Gallup expendable? I'm going to repeat what BJ said last Wednesday on the same show. They're 2 different receivers. If Gallup is in the game, we're scoring more points because, again, his ability to get down the field, and he's a playmaker when that ball's in the air. Cedric Wilson is a slot receiver. I'm not saying he can't do what Gallup can do, but he's not. He's not. Gallup is a different animal. So when he comes back, I had to repeat what BJ said last week, BJ. I had to say,
go ahead. No, you're good. Hey, Spoon, by all means, keep going.
I had to say your breath.
Don't stop, Spoon. Go right ahead.
So again, but these are the reasons why don't go off about trading players away. The depth that we have right now is serious. So serious that, again, the conversations about let's get 6, I'm gonna start to have it. I don't know about anybody else. I'm gonna have it because guess what? A game like today.
Hold on. Wait, pause that, Spoon. Because Spoon, you know what? You know what the people need while they're here? For those that don't tune in on Wednesday nights, at 8 p.m. Central, YouTube, Star Game Podcast, go hit that sub. We do a thing at the end of we do a thing. We have a little segment, if you will, for Spoonie's Minute at the end of the night. So I'm gonna let it here. We're gonna give you a special taste here on Sunday night going into the bye week. Since you won't get a Spoonie, well, we might do a Spoonie's Minute even on the bye week. But if you've been here for the first time, I'm gonna give you a little bit of Spoonie's Minute. But Dylan, let you clear the decks real quick. This win means what for you?
We got gut checked and we passed the gut check. So
I like it.
We have
nice.
We have Michael Gallup coming back. We have Lyle Collins coming back. Kelvin Joseph, Neville Gallimore. If they thought it was spooky hours before, y'all just wait, man.
Bro, and Kelvin Joseph literally after the pick 6, Kelvin Joseph tweeted, "I'm coming back." I'm like, "Oh, he's hungry." I'm like, "Yeah, the man's hungry." And I love it.
I see all the people doubting Kelvin Joseph. Y'all can doubt. You're gonna be eating a lot of crow. I'm telling you, you're gonna love this kid as soon as he rounds into form. He's a good player. And like this whole game, this whole team, I'm feeling really good about it. I'm feeling we came out, we had a tough win, we pulled it out at our worst day. We're still putting up 35 points against Bill Belichick in their house with the refs helping them out. At our worst, we're still a scary team, and we're about to get a lot scarier.
And real quick, Bob Aran. Is that like from the Beach Boys? I'm old, so I know enough. Bob Aran, whatever. Look, I did too. Wednesday show, I said 42-17. I did too, and I'm gonna send 2 toes down on that. And I'll be back here on Wednesday. I said the same thing. I said it was gonna be a blowout, and honestly, the Cowboys should have scored 50 tonight. They didn't. It's fair. Things happened, but up and down this roster, and you did see it over time how this team operated against the other team, right? Against the Patriots, this team was better, and it happened eventually. Refs be damned in coaching and different things or whatever, Bob Rand. But I agree. I predicted the same thing. So, he said, I didn't know. I just saw the Bob Rand and I ran with it. Okay, inbox me and let me know what it means. I just remember the old Beach Boys joint. But either way, this team could have easily dropped 50 in overtime with everything that went left on them. They still dropped 35. With 2 turnovers in the end zone. Take the 2 turnovers away in the end zone. Where are we at, ladies and gentlemen? If you kick the extra point, that's 50, right? So, I mean, it is what it is. So with that being said, though, without further ado, Spoony, as we're heading to this bye week, 5-1 on the post game. Man, go ahead and give him the minute, dog. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Hold on, let me get you right. Yeah, go ahead, Spoony. Give the Spoony's minute.
Before I start, I want everybody to listen to Mike McCarthy after the game.
Hey, man, let me say this. I mean, a lot of great things today. We need these kind of wins. Okay? We've been kicking ass here for a couple weeks. These games will go a long way in December and January. They're awesome. Okay, a lot of things go against us. Just kept playing. This is why we spend as much time as we do at the end of the game. No one blink. Great fight. Love it out there, man. You guys are awesome. This is how you go into the bottom. Hey, CJ, I know you're ready. Get up in here, man. Hey, man, great win. I'm reiterating what Coach said. Great win, man. Let's enjoy this bye week. And D, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Down 3. 1, 2, 3.
Now, Cowboy Nation, with 5-1, we beat the Patriots. But before I go on about the victory, there's a couple of folks out there that I gotta have to remind them who we are. First of all, you Dak haters.
Oh.
I am so excited that y'all are quiet. Either you quiet or you disappear somewhere. Hell, maybe the aliens came down and took you guys up. Maybe that's what happened. And I'm happy. Because guess what? My ears were bleeding. Cowboy fans in Star Gang right here listening and all over the world, their ears were bleeding. You guys don't know shit.
Oh.
That's why you're quiet. Number 2, for the ones who came out and said McCarthy should be in the hot seat, how dare you? How dare you not understand the difference of having a team on a COVID year the way it was compared to this year? Look at this season. When Dak signed on the dotted line, he said culture. He said the culture needs to change, and damn it, if you're not watching what I'm seeing, the culture has changed. We went to New England against the hoodie. Hall of Fame head coach Bill Parcells, pardon me, Bill Belichick. We fucked him up. He knew it. He needed the rest in his pockets. We came out and said black and white ain't shit. Blue, white, and silver is going to overcome all that shit. You know what, BJ? I'm sorry. It's 10 o'clock Eastern time. I'm in New York. I'm a cuss. The kids should be sleeping. And I'm going to say this right now, Cowboy Nation.
Hey, Spoon, I put the women and the kids to bed and go hunting, Spoon.
Hop on the Cowboys train. If you have him, you will be getting left behind. At the end of the day, y'all, if this game didn't teach you nothing, you ain't watching the right shit. If you ain't watching the right shit, you might as well go to your DVR and go watch Little House on the Prairie. Or matter of fact, go ahead and watch the Jason Garrett Dallas Cowboys. Go and watch that and reminisce on that. Because this team right here, we are going. I'm saying it right now. We are Super Bowl contenders. Super Bowl. I'm saying it. Yes, I am saying it. Super Bowl contenders. If you don't believe in them, guess what? You're now watching the same game. You're still stuck in that Garrett era. If you want to stay stuck in there, clap your ass and stay over there. But guess what? Cowboy Nation right here, who's on the train with me, we're going somewhere. Number 4 came back and says culture would change. He said he would lead us. The team believes in him. Guess what? I believe in him. BJ believes in him. Dylan believes in him. Psycho Space. Every motherfucking guy who understands what they're watching believes in him. And guess what, y'all? Guess what? It's just beginning.
All right. Well, then.
Gang.
Typically, not as much cursing on Wednesday nights from Spoony's Minute. But you know what? Right now, it is what it is. It's time to have fun. Little glimpse. If you want to see more of that and more, me, Spoonie, Professor O, Mary Ella, right there on the bottom, man. Star King Podcast is the YouTube channel. Man, hit that sub. Come through, mess with us every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Central. We gets it in for sure. But right after here, right after here. My guy Wes said, "Talk your ish, bruh. Talk it. But with that being said, though, I like this too here. We go as far as 4 can take us. And that's all you want from your quarterback, but you believe the quarterback can do it. So, that's what it is. Right after here, guys, on the bottom, you see it. Your guy, Nick's, Dylan 88 Wilson. So when are you going to come over for the? Are you going to come over for the Twitter
Yeah,
space?
I can for a while.
All right. So we're going to run a Twitter space on the other side and have a good conversation. Get a different group of people in over there. So by all means, if you follow us up, we start the Twitter space. You can come in. We're going to talk. We'll get people on and their live reactions and different things. Get a different little eclectic group, if you will, over there on Twitter. But once again, the most important thing is Stargame Podcast. Go hit that sub button. Dylan, by all means, brother, appreciate you coming through. Go ahead and tell the people where they can find you, Dill.
Yeah, the ad's right there, guys. Just go to Twitter. You can follow me, and we'll go from there. All I want to say is Dak for MVP, Trayvon best in the league, and Cowboys Super Bowl bound. Let's go.
Oh, he said Super Bowl bound.
Yeah, Super Bowl bound.
Let's go. Let's go. I ain't gonna go that far yet.
I can't not say that after Spoonie's speech, man.
No.
Yeah, he convinced me.
Fair. Imagine doing with this adrenaline every week, Dylan. Jesus Christ. Man. But it is what it is, man. We appreciate you rocking with us. We'll see you on Wednesday night. And of course, hey man, y'all come over there 8:57, 9:10. No later than 9:10, we'll be live on the other side over there on Twitter, man. Come over there and mess with us. We appreciate y'all as always. Y'all have a wonderful night. And hey, man, forget just Victory Monday. Man, it's Victory Bye Week.
Victory Bye
Week. we can ride this victory for 2 damn weeks before we got to play somebody. Soak it up, enjoy it, and tell the Cowboys hater 5 and look at this, just 5. If your team got 5 wins, don't talk to me. Poverty is what your team is.